Yes, so finally I'm creating this course that is Camunda interview preparation course. I got several hundreds of requests from various countries to create this course. I'm the first person who introduced Camunda course in Udemy in 2019, right, which became worldwide bestseller, got a lot of appreciation from different companies, including Camunda, and I tried my best to make it very simple for people to learn Camunda, right? So after that contribution, which reached out to almost 100 plus, more than 100 plus countries, finally I decided to prepare a course for you people for Camunda interview preparation. And currently, Camunda is having two different flavor. One is Camunda 7 and another is Camunda 8. Camunda is having huge opportunity when it comes to job, whether it is United States or UK or India, doesn't matter. Everywhere, Camunda opportunity is there. If you go to Dice or Naukri or Indeed or any other website, you can easily see that a lot of Camunda opportunities are there. And the beauty is, very less people are there in the market. So, high time to learn Camunda and definitely crack the interview, get a good hike, get a good job, or switch your job, right? So for that purpose, definitely this course is going to help you. I know there is no, I know a lot of chat GPT based question answer, many website has bested, but believe me, those are not going to help you if I am the interviewer or my type of interviewers are there. Because when you talk without knowing something, people can easily understand that you don't know that, right? And for that purpose, what you need to do is you need to prepare yourself very well. If you don't prepare well, in that case, yeah, it's totally on your luck. If the person who is conducting interview, in many occasions it happens that the person who is conducting interview, that person is not aware of Camunda. Maybe he or she is coming from some other BPM background, let's say maybe Pega or Appian, right? In that case, it's your luck. But anyways, after getting job, what you are gonna do? You can't survive if you don't know how this tool works, right? So my first suggestion to you, if you are looking for a job change, if you want to do something in Camunda, you should also learn Camunda. And for learning purpose, definitely you can check my Udemy course or you can reach out to me for a live session that is also available. Every month we are running live session for Camunda 7 and Camunda 8 for different companies, for individual, for public batches. Okay. So coming back to this course is fully dedicated for Camunda 7 and Camunda interview preparation. Okay. I'm gonna also follow the regular or the current trend, like web series, correct? So they will release things episode wise. I'm also planning to do the same. Maybe in some websites you will get the entire course, or if it is YouTube or some other platform, maybe this will get released part by part, or sometimes maybe not 100% things are there in YouTube. So you have to check our official website. That will be that will be given in the description. So let's go and what you are gonna learn here. If you are a Commander 7 developer or architect, yes, this course is for you. If you are Commander 8 developer or architect, yes, course is for you. You are very new to Camunda or you are having intermediate knowledge, you can go for this course. If you are expert in Camunda and having huge experience in Camunda as an architect or as a developer, and still you want to prepare yourself, maybe you are not in touch with Camunda, yes, you can enroll for this course. Only one thing here, this course is not for people who are coming from DevOps or Camunda environment team who manage the cluster, Kubernetes, and Camunda cluster, those things. So this course is not for them. Okay. So now, guys, whenever we talk about interview or now I think I'm having around 9 to 10 years of Camunda experience, and in my entire career, I have conducted maybe 200, 300 Camunda interviews till date, more than that. So I keep it very simple. I start with simple questions. So these questions are common question whether you are Camunda 7 or Camunda 8, whether you are beginner or you are experienced, doesn't matter. These are the common questions. So the very first question what you can get is, what are your roles and responsibilities as a commander resource in the project? Why this question is very important? Because this question will help us to understand the interviewer that what you do in your project. Are you part of only designing? Are you also writing the backend code and integrating it? Whether you write, uh, whether you collaborate with business people or not, whether you are doing this, you have done this in a collaborative way by using some tool, or you were only individual contributor. So everything, all the things will get clear when we ask this question that what are your role and responsibilities as a Camunda resource in the project, right? So now, what are your role and responsibilities as a Camunda resource in the project? So if somebody asks me this question, so in that case, I'll simply say a couple of points. I always keep my answers very simple, and I always try to add those words which I know very well, those concepts which I know very well. So generally, when I attend any interview, not as an interviewer, so that time I lead the show. How I lead, I take the interviewer to my direction. I in 90% scenarios I have seen that if you are smart enough, then you can simply take the interviewer to your direction. That what next question you want that person to ask you, that can be easily, you know, you can be a smart person, and you can simply do that. How? We'll talk about those things in our upcoming discussion. So right now, let's come back to this. What are your role and responsibilities as a commander resource in the project, right? Resource or developer or architect, right? So you should always start with like, hey, you should explain that how many years of experience you have in Camunda and those things. Like, hey, this is Arindam, and okay, from last 8 to 10 years, I'm working in Camunda. I started my journey somewhere in 2016, probably 15 or 16. I can't recall exactly. And that time onwards, I'm working in Camunda. So, if you talk about my recent role and responsibilities, I can highlight that. Or let me explain my entire career's role and responsibilities. Maybe that will give you a bigger picture about my Camunda expertise. Correct. So like this way you can start. Now if you are a new person in Camunda world, you can simply say, so sometimes you can be also honest. Sometimes if you don't want to be, it's up to you. But role and responsibilities will be common whether you are experienced. I mean, definitely it can be different. But if you are a Camunda developer, what you are gonna do, whether you are having 1 year 1 year of experience, or 3 years or 5 years, doesn't matter. Your first responsibility will, like, okay, sometimes you will design the workflow with BPM and 2.0 standard. That is the first thing. Second thing, write DMN for business rule purpose. Third thing, write backend let's say Java based code, right? Like service task, you can say. Then you can also say, if you write unit test, for BPMN and DMN by using, let's say, Camunda assert lib, or maybe JUnit, or maybe scenario, whatever fits for you. So these are the very basic responsibilities. And then definitely you will say, then we do deployment, I do monitoring, with cockpit, with the help of, right? So like this way you can start that, okay, these are a couple of responsibilities which I follow or which I do in my project. Yeah, definitely you can also keep adding more things like, okay, I have written a couple of REST API for my front end. So our front end get integrated with Camunda by using the REST API, which we have exposed. That is the intermediate layer between our UI application and Camunda world, right? So I hope this question is clear to you, that what are your role and responsibilities as a Camunda resource in the project. You design workflow. Now, when you will talk about, okay, you design workflow, so that means you are highlighting something like BPM and 2.0. So maybe in the next question, that person can also ask you, okay, you told that you are following BPM and 2.0. So what is BPM and 2.0? Hmm? So some chain of thoughts, like a chain of questions can also come. Right? Okay, you told that you are writing service task. How do you write the service task? Hmm? What is the way? What is the approach to write a service task? Hmm? Are you using some Spring component, or you are using a non-Java based solution? Let's say you are using some Node.js code. So in that case, how you have written that? So somehow he is trying to understand that how you have implemented these things in your project, right? So write backend code with service task. I have seen a very famous question by different interviewers, that, okay, how you integrate your BPMN with the code? That is also a common question. Okay, let me summarize this first. So I hope this is clear to you, that what is your role and responsibilities as a commander resource in the project, right? Definitely for architect, some different kind of questions can also come, right? That what are the additional responsibilities you have in your project, what you do as an architect, what kind of integration is happening in your project. Hmm. What kind of design pattern you are following. Is it a microservice based solution, or it's a monolith application? How you have orchestrated your services, what kind of integrations you are doing in your application. Is there any legacy application which is also getting integrated in your application? Is it a migration project, or you have started it from the very beginning? If you have done it, so these all questions are mainly for architect. I can add list of questions for architect. Okay, but let's stick to these things, that okay, these are the responsibilities which I have in my current project. Okay, next question, if you see, how did you collaborate with other team members such as business analysts and stakeholders during the project? So you can simply say that we have a daily stand-up call, or we have brainstorming call. So if people are following agile practice, right? So you can also bring that into picture, that how you are collaborating with people over call. That is one thing. But here, what that person is trying to ask you, that is there any collaborative way to design the business process? Like if you are using Camunda 8, in Camunda 8 you have web modeler, and that web modeler can help you to add collaborator, more members. So multiple people can design any workflow together. Same thing we have seen in Camunda 7, although that product is now retired. But still, you can always say that Where's that? Give me a minute. Yeah, Covimo. Covimo is something which we have used in past for Camunda 7, where this particular browser-based modeler was helping us to do modeling in a collaborative way. Try to understand, guys, when you are using this modeler, this is a desktop-based modeler where only one person can use it, right? Whereas if you use Covimo, I'm sorry. So in that case, multiple people can be collaborated and they can work together. So how did you collaborate with other team members such as business analysts and stakeholders during the project? So definitely you will go in call to discuss, and you can add collaborator for the designing purpose. Why I'm emphasizing on that part? Because nowadays business analysts are also designing business process with the help of BPM and 2.0 thing. Like if you are using Camunda modeler to design the business process, same thing can be used by the business analyst to design the business process when it is at the very beginning, and that could be called as a strategic model. Strategic. Okay, so the third question, what challenges did you face during the implementation and how did you overcome? This is also very important question and many people will ask you this question. So you need to remember, if you have really worked on Camunda BPM, so that time you might have faced several kind of challenges. Like if somebody is using Camunda 8, they will definitely face some challenges like uh, different BPM and elements till date in 2024 uh, here. Uh, Many BPM and elements are not supported yet in in Camunda 8, right? So while doing the migration, maybe they will face some issues. So you can check the list of BPM and elements which are not supported in Camunda 8 till date. Like you can't do inclusive gateway join. There are different BPM and elements are there which are not supported in Camunda 8 yet. Coming back to the Camunda 7 challenges, right? What kind of challenges you generally face? Like I have seen in my career that when we do some upgradation, and upgradation is not only Camunda version upgradation, like let's say I was working in Camunda 7.11, then I had to make it 7.17, right? Versions are getting upgraded, but your project version was uh, running in some lower version. So while upgrading, definitely you will face some challenges because that is not one time and that is not a regular activity. You have to see that what should be the approach to upgrade the version, right? Whether I should follow incremental approach to uh, run my database queries one by one, like let's say from 7.11 to 7.12 first, and then from 12 to 13, 13 to 14, right? So those are the challenges. Why? Because some things which you don't know and that appears to you. So you can also simply say that I had never worked on that, but I had to do that. That was very first time when I was trying to upgrade the version from 7.11 to whatever the version is, 7.17 to 7.21, let's say. Correct? Mm. So even I have also seen that in many occasions you have to upgrade all the things. Your Java version, let's say from your JDK 8 or JDK 11 to JDK 17, you will do your Spring Boot version. Let's say it was 3.1.11 now you have to make it to 3.2 point something, and you have to upgrade your Camunda. So sometimes back I faced this challenge when I was trying to upgrade Camunda, and then I had to upgrade my Java, I had to upgrade my Spring Boot. So, Camunda's security has been changed, right? The approach has been changed, so it was not working well. So, different people will face different kind of challenges, right? Maybe sometimes you will see that your uh, incident could be new to many people who are new to Camunda. Now, while using the flag which cause incident, like if this is a service task, now let's say this is a service task, okay, order received, okay, now let's say check with inventory, and this is a service task which is going to call some Java code, okay, and while giving the implementation here, if I say okay, this is gonna be a Spring Boot, a Spring component, I'll write whatever the name is, and then you can see asynchronous before and after, right? So in many occasions when you are new to Camunda, you don't know how Camunda manages the transaction part. So that time, maybe let's say you have not used this flag, okay, getting my point. This is the first task, which task is going to connect with the database, right? Why? Because your order details, uh, you have received some order, maybe from some client, right? That client has sent the order. Let's say this is a mobile client. That client has sent some order, and after sending the order, the very first task is a service task, which service task is going to call some Java based implementation, let's say some Spring Boot based solution. But you have not used this flag as you don't know what is the synchronous before and after, right? So that time, and let's say the database is down. Right now, the database is down. Okay, getting my point, guys? I'm just using the color code. It doesn't, there is no importance of these, notations, but still, the database was down. So that's why Camunda will give a try, 3 times retry, default retry, if you have not specified your retry policy. And then it will not do anything. It will roll back the transaction. This transaction has been started, just started. There's no commit, nothing. So you will not be able to see any process instance details on your cockpit. Why? Because it will roll it back and it will go out. Hmm. So you will not be able to see, even if the process has been started, you have received the order, and then you were trying to check it with inventory, but the database was down. So as the database was down, Camunda will try to reconnect with the database 3 times, but after that it will go back and the transaction will be rolled back. You will not be able to see it from the cockpit, right? So this kind of things, if you have not faced any challenges, then create this kind of scenarios that okay, I had a service task at the very beginning when I was new to Camunda. I was not aware of the transaction management, and that's why I didn't use the flag asynchronous before or after. Definitely I'll request you guys to read about asynchronous before and after, and this retry policy. This is very important for your interview. And then you will say that I was not able to find out the process from the cockpit. Every time when my database was down, I was not able to locate that. So that was really very challenging for me. And then I connected with a few of the senior member who were senior, although I was the only one person who was working in Camunda, so there was no option to connect with somebody. I went to Camunda's forum, and then I posted a question, and then or I connected with few of the guys, and then I got to know, okay, these are the very important flags which I need to use to define Camunda's transaction. So we have to bring scenarios that what kind of challenges could be there. Now, this challenge is something when you are new to Camunda, you don't know transaction management. that how it works. So that time you have faced it. Then another point I told that while doing the version upgradation from Camunda 7.17 to 7.21, you faced a couple of challenges, right? Even if you have managed all the dependencies, you have done everything, but that was a new activity for you, so it was a challenge for you, right? Even you can bring more scenarios regarding challenges. Okay, so we'll talk about those things one by one. I should not keep extending this. Mm, okay, where exactly I am? Yeah. Another question, that which version of Camunda are you using in your project? So I I always ask these two questions to make sure that the person who is going to spend maybe 20 minutes, 40 minutes with me, he or she has really worked in Camunda and knows the version. In many occasions, I have seen that people will simply come to attend the interview, that if their luck favors, they will get selected. Okay, that kind of candidate I have seen several times. So what they will do, they will just come with very basic understanding of few things. So simply ask them this question: which version of Camunda you are using, or which version of modeler you are using. So they will not be able to give you correct answer. So make sure you know what is which version of Camunda you are using: 7.21, 7.17, 7.14, and which version of Camunda modeler you are using. Because Camunda modeler is different and Camunda project itself is having a different version, right? If you see this modeler on the right side, you can see the version 5.22, right? This is the version of the modeler, whereas Camunda is having different version. Currently, it is having 7.21. When it comes to 7, now 8 version 8 is also having right now, I think 8.6 has been released. So these are very simple questions, but interviewer can easily understand whether you have really worked in Camunda project or not, right? Try to explore more that what kind of challenges you can face while doing this. They can also ask you a few questions like how you do the deployment while doing the development, right? So you should know that you can also do the deployment from here, right? With the help of this. Look at here, Camunda version 7.21, modeler is 5.22. Give a click on this. I have to save the file. But you can do the deployment from here. You can start the process from here. Many times they will also ask you, how do you start your process? Tell me, how do you start your process? So you need to know that, hey, I start my process from task list or REST API, or maybe from my Java code, or with the help of modeler also, I can start my process. Okay, how you do the deployment? I'm using Spring Boot application. So whenever I start my application, all the resources will get deployed automatically. Yeah, when I do some changes, let's say my server is up and running and now I'm doing some changes in my workflow, there is no such code-based change. So on the fly also, I can do the deployment with the help of the modeler, provided my server is up and running. So you need to know these basic things, or else somebody can easily understand that you don't have correct understanding of this tool, or you have not worked in Camunda project. So I want to make it very simple. So I tried to discuss a couple of questions which could be asked. Definitely in coming videos, I will prepare things chapter wise, like, in Camunda, BPMN 2.0 is the main uh, thing which we are, our main standard which we are following to design the business process, right? So what I'll do is in my course, I will try to cover all the questions from all the topics. Okay, what is pool? What is lane? What is empty pool? Why we use empty pool? When we use multiple pool? Can I have multiple lanes in a pool? Yeah. As a technical developer, am I supposed to use pool and lane every time, or I can skip that part? Right? Okay, what is event? Type of events, how to use event, what is boundary event, what is timer event, okay, what is task, type of task, sub process. So everything will have separate video. I'll create separate videos for each and every topic. So I'll make sure that whatever questions can come, you will be able to answer that. Okay, with this, I'll stop now. Thanks a lot. Thank you guys. Bye bye.